MMA Fighting presents Timeline: Jorge Masvidal versus Nathan Diaz. June 23rd, 2007. The Ultimate Fighter 5 finale, Pulver vs. Penn, Las Vegas, Nevada. Nate Diaz makes his official UFC debut in the co-main event against Manny Gamburian. The lightweight Diaz defeats Gamburian in the second round after Gamburian suffers a shoulder injury. Diaz would continue his winning ways at UFC Fight Night, Thomas vs. Florian, with a submission victory over Junior Asuncao. Alvin Robinson at UFC Fight Night 12, Swick vs. Berkman. Kurt Pellegrino by triangle choke at UFC Fight Night 13, Florian vs. Lozon. And in his first UFC main event, Josh Neer by split decision at UFC Fight Night 15, Diaz vs. Neer in Omaha, Nebraska. Diaz's win streak would be snapped after a split decision loss to Clay Guida at UFC 94, ST-PIERRE vs. Penn 2 in Las Vegas. Diaz would continue his skid at the Ultimate Fighter 9 finale, Sanchez vs. Guida, with a decision loss to Joe Stevenson. Nate Diaz would bounce back with a guillotine choke victory in the main event for UFC Fight Night 19, Diaz vs. Giard in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Diaz is then booked in his third UFC Fight Night main event in Fairfax, Virginia against then undefeated top prospect Gray Maynard. Diaz would lose a controversial split decision to the wrestler. March 27, 2010, UFC 111, ST-PIERRE vs. Hardy, Newark, New Jersey. Nathan Diaz makes his UFC welterweight debut opposite Rory Markham. Diaz dominates and finishes Markham by ground and pound.
Post-fight at UFC 111 with Nate Diaz, who looked great tonight in defeating Rory Markham. First off, Nate, congratulations on the win. Were you happy with your performance?
Yeah, I guess it was good because I got in and out.
How was your first time at 170? How did you feel?
I had a lot of energy. Just building up to the weigh-in wasn't as miserable as usual. That's pretty much it.
Did you consider not taking the fight because there was such a huge discrepancy in weight?
No. I figured he would either have to. I don't like that guy.
That was Kurt Pellegrino. Why don't you like him?
Yeah,
you have some history, right?
Yeah, he's. I don't like guys who clown around. He used to be on Hendo Gracie's team too, and he jumped ship, so he's a traitor. Nothing huge, but you know.
A lot of people thought you deserved to win the fight against Gray Maynard in January. Did you feel as though you had something to prove tonight and finish the fight decisively to show that, you know what, you are a top contender and you did deserve to win that fight?
Nah, yeah, I did win that fight. Only people who thought I lost that fight were the judges, but who's that? Who were the judges? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I did. I didn't get one person saying that he did. And I didn't feel like... If I lost the fight, you know, how did he win the fight? That's more the question. Maybe I didn't do enough, but he didn't do shit.
Diaz would follow up this victory with another welterweight victory over Marcus Davis at UFC 118, Edgar vs. Penn 2 in Boston. September 11th, 2010, Shark Fights 13, Jardine vs. Prangley, Amarillo, Texas. With 25 fights already under his belt, with the majority being at the lightweight limit, Masvidal moves up in weight to face elite welterweight striker Paul Daly. Daly wins a very competitive decision and moves Masvidal's record to 20 victories and 6 defeats. January 1st, 2011, UFC 125, Edgar vs. Maynard, Las Vegas, Nevada. Diaz moves up the welterweight rankings to face top prospect Dong-Hyun Kim.
I know you like to look at the lines, and I was looking at the lines a couple of days ago, and I noticed that Nate Diaz was an underdog going into the Dong-Hyun Kim fight. Are you surprised by that, and who do you like in that one?
Actually, no, I'm not surprised. I actually thought that line's just about right. It's a pretty slight favorite, you know, it's a pretty close line. But I actually am picking Dong-Hyun Kim to win, just because I think he's got a sort of style where he's usually able to dictate where the fight takes place. And Nate Diaz is comfortable fighting off his back. You know, I think it's a fight where Kim's going to be able to put him on his back. He's probably good enough, I think, to stay away from being submitted. So you might end up with a fight where you know, you have 12 of the 15 minutes on the ground with Dong-Hyun Kim on top of him. If he's not able to submit him, you know, it's obvious who's going to get the decision.
Kim wins by unanimous decision. Diaz would follow this loss up with another decision loss to top prospect Rory MacDonald at UFC 129, St-Pierre vs. Shields in Toronto, Ontario.
Nate Diaz, one of the more polarizing figures in MMA. Some love him, some hate him, maybe sometimes controversial. What do you think of him? And aside from the fighting, just his demeanor, him and his brother, when it comes to how they act in and outside the cage?
Well, you know, I think a lot has to do with their background maybe, and, you know, their attitude can be taken in a bad way, I guess. I can understand, you know, maybe where they're from is a bad area, and that's just who they are. That's who they become, and they keep it real.
March 5th, 2011, Strikeforce, Fei Zhao vs. Henderson, Columbus, Ohio. The 26-fight veteran makes his televised Strikeforce debut opposite the undefeated 11-0 Billy Evangelista. Masvidal wins by decision.
Obviously, I wanna put on great shows. You know, these guys always put on great shows, and I want to put a great show on. But naturally, I'm a counter fighter, and if Billy was coming forward, I was just gonna look the counter fight. You know, so I wish I could have got, you know, the fans cheering and doing backflips, but didn't happen this time. Next time, you know. No, I wasn't surprised. I always go into a fight like wanting a knockout, but if I don't see an opening, I won't go crazy. You know, I hit Billy with some good shots, and he recovered right away, so I wasn't gonna overextend myself or get caught in any silly things, you know. So I don't care. Win's a win for me, you know. I just want to keep winning, building my wins up. I know Billy had like 6 or 7 straight wins in Strikeforce, so he's definitely got to be up there. If I can't fight for the title, the next toughest guy out there, I'd like to fight him and kick his butt, you know. That's all I want to do, man. Just keep fighting, man. Whoever it be next.
June 18th, 2011, Strikeforce, OVEREEM vs. WERDUM, Dallas, Texas. Masvidal returns to the Strikeforce hexagon to face former Elite XC lightweight champion KJ Nunes.
You know, you made your Strikeforce debut in March. You had that dominant win over Billy Evangelista, but there were some boos in the crowd, and there were some people who criticized you for maybe going the safe route. What did you think of your performance and of the criticism you received afterwards?
Well, a lot of people, man, the people booing in the crowd never really care because half of them are drunk. They just want to see sock 'em, rock 'em robots, you know, and that's not me. You know, I never done that. I put out guys in the first round, but that's because I created openings and I heard them and I followed up on it. I'm not a guy that's going to get hit just to give a hit, you know. I'm going to hit you and I'm going to move and I'm going to move my head, you know. Some people don't like it, some people love it, you know. I got just the interview before. I just did an interview right now and they were telling me, it's like, hey, that last fight was really close and you're telling me I blew the guy away. So it's like, you know, everybody, that's their opinion. I can't get mad, you know, and hopefully the fight on Saturday, they like it more, man.
He told us that he has a hard time not looking past you because he really wants to fight for the title. Are you in the same position? Are you kind of starting to think about Gilbert because maybe a win over him will lead to a title shot?
Man, of course I want that gold wrapped around my waist. That means a lot more money, but if Cage is looking past me, man, he's going to wake up with a tube in his mouth getting rushed to the hospital, you know, so he could do whatever he wants. I'm looking at him and only him after him. I don't know if I'm going to fight for the title. I don't know if I'm going to fight Justin Wilcox. I don't know if I'm going to, you know, I wouldn't want to fight Jay-Z, but, you know, whoever it be next, man, I'm ready for it, you know. So I'm not looking past KJ. I want to destroy him, you know.
Masvidal wins by unanimous decision.
Post-fight at Strikeforce in Dallas with a very happy Jorge Masvidal, who defeated KJ Nunes tonight. And Jorge, congratulations on the big win. A lot of people were saying this was one of your best performances of your career. Would you agree?
I definitely think it's good. Everybody likes that. Like, I don't know if I was you that I told earlier, or I forgot who, that rock 'em, sock 'em, you know, hit the guy, get hit, you know, and that's why people liked it, because KJ, though, he got it from the kick. He was putting pressure on me. He wasn't hitting me, but he was putting good pressure, so I know people like that. But
it's I thought my Billy Evangelista fight was a real good fight. You know, Billy's real tough. He kept coming forward the whole time. I didn't take no hits, no damage. And that's what I think it is, as close as you can to perfection. Don't give him no takedowns, don't get punched in the face and score, you know. And that's what I think makes a good fight. Not you get hit, you come back, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's funny how it works in MMA because a lot of people, as we talked in the pre-fight interview, were criticizing you for that performance, and they loved this performance because it was Rock'em Sock'em. And I think a lot of people are now.
Though I didn't get hit, just this.
Right.
It wasn't Rock'em Sock'em, you know. It was close to the Rock'em Sock'em, you know. But still, I was the way that I picture a fight is like a pretty thing, you know. You hit, you move, you think, you know. When the guy does this, you do that, and if he does that, you do this, you know. And that's how I think a fight's pretty, you know. Some guys just want to see two guys punching, you know what I'm saying? Just punching each other in the head so one of them drops, and that's cool and all, but that's not how I was raised to fight, and that's not what I think a long-lasting career in any sport of combat will take you to the higher levels, you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel as though now you have, you know, it's funny because I remember talking to you right after Amada submitted you, and you were sort of on the receiving end of this very famous submission. Now you're on this role in Strikeforce. You're fighting in a bigger promotion, and it feels as though now you're really starting to get a lot of respect. You've been around this sport for a long time. Do you feel as though you have a lot of momentum now going into this fight?
Yeah, I got a lot of momentum. Like you said, I've been around for a while. You know, I just had some ups and downs. Imada, I'm gonna kick your ass one day. No hard feelings. I like the guy. He's a cool guy, man. But I gotta get that win back one of these days. Imada, man, I'm gonna make it happen, man. One of these days I gotta get Imada back, but
you still think about that?
Of course, man. I think really, if you look at my record, I got 2 legitimate losses. It's Imada and this other guy that beat me young in my career. The rest of them, I think I won them, and I just had unfair decisions, you know. But that's what I think a lot of times people overrate me. They look at my record, they see 6 losses, you know, but it's really 2 losses, man. And I done fought some tough guys and beat them up, you know. Gilbert won't be no different. Another tough guy that I'm gonna beat up.
Masvidal would be awarded a shot at the lightweight title, but would go on to lose to the champ, Gilbert Melendez, by decision. Jorge Masvidal would get back to his winning ways by defeating Justin Wilcox at Strikeforce Rockhold vs. Kennedy in Portland, Oregon. September 24th, 2011, UFC 135, Jones vs. Rampage, Denver, Colorado. Diaz returns to lightweight to face Japanese fighting legend Takanori Gomi.
I was talking to Michael Bisping, and he said that he thinks Nate Diaz wins it, very much like Nick Diaz won it. And I said, does that mean that you think that he's going to go in there with a bunch of THC in his system? And let's hope not. Let's hope, honestly. And Nate, in a lot of regards, seems to make a little better decisions than Nick. Maybe he learns from having the older brother as a good and terrifying counterexample at times. But I do think Nate Diaz is a much better fighter. To me, it's just what kind of fight will he choose to fight against Gomi? I mean, do you stand there and try and slug it out with a guy whose best chance is, hitting you with one big shot? You get him to the mat. I think Nate Diaz submits Gomi without too much trouble. I'd like to see him do that, since that seems like the smartest path. But who knows? I'll be really interested to see how he tries to fight, but I think Nate Diaz wins it.
Diaz dominates the brawl and wins by armbar late in the first round.
Gomi, he's a scary guy to have to fight, He knocked out a lot of people. I used to have a YouTube channel back in the day, and I would always favorite his fights and highlights before a lot of people. And before UFC bought Pride, I was a big fan of. I was like, none of the lightweights can mess with the guys over there at Pride. I guess things changed a little bit once they bought it over and they came over and rules were different, but I don't know, it's good. I didn't really especially want to fight the guy because I had so much respect for him. My brother beat him. You know what I'm saying? There's a world out there to fight. I'm sick of fighting the same people my brother did. So I don't think people realize, man, that Gomi is a legend. You know what I'm saying? People don't, he might not be the biggest UFC star. He had a couple losses, but he's done way cooler shit. Some of those last couple guys who beat him, he's done great things, man. Like, when I started fighting, I was watching videos of him, and I don't know, man. You beat somebody like that, you're like, I couldn't even believe that I was fighting him. You know what I'm saying? I had to do the weigh-ins with him. I'm like, damn, I gotta fight him. So I try to give him a mean stare down, but I'm just like, damn. I wish I was not even fighting this guy. There's a lot of people I would rather be fighting, But that's the man. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's all right. He's just like, I I lost this when he's irritated with himself. I'm like, get up, man. You're just fine. No.
December 30th, 2011, UFC 141, LESNAR versus OVEREEM, Las Vegas, Nevada. Nate Diaz is booked against fan favorite all-action fighter Cowboy Cerrone in the co-main event for the end-of-the-year pay-per-view.
Question, obviously, had a long chat with your brother just a couple of months ago prior to his fight against BJ Penn. He talked about sort of his love of the sport, or maybe lack thereof, how he doesn't really enjoy doing this as much as he once did. Do you share the same feelings, how you don't really like fighting, but you like the training and whatnot, but you don't actually like the sort of art of fighting when it comes down to it?
I love fighting. I love the martial art. I love martial arts in general. I love, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on you know, Van Damme, Bruce Lee movies, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Me and my brother, we did karate, and I love everything about fighting. I think it's great. I can't get enough of it. I sit at home all night till 5 in the morning sometimes just looking up martial arts. I'm not watching at home all night, you know, UFC, wrestling matches. I do half the night, but it usually turned into watching, you know, more historical martial arts stuff. But sometimes I think what he's trying to say too is the way the sport is, the way it goes, you know, it doesn't favor the better fighters. I like good fighters, and I can appreciate really good fighters. You know what I'm saying? The best card I could imagine lately was that Shogun and Henderson and Vanderlei. It was just like a step back in the time, only with a cage now, you know. So it's just like two guys going in there. And I remember watching Henderson and Ninja Hua fight, and that was like one of my favorite fights because those were my favorite fighters at the time. So I could appreciate really good fights and fighters, but I could appreciate the wrestlers too and the way stuff goes. But I don't like how it favors it, and I don't like how you're gonna have, you know, all champions be collegiate wrestlers just because they're better. I thought this was the Ultimate Fighting Championships, not the Ultimate Wrestling Championships, you know. So whenever you got a guy in there fighting and trying to damage his opponent and just like do good technical, good stuff, that's an art compared to athleticism. And because we could do that too, that athleticism stuff, but it's just good to see good martial arts.
I hate to put too much stock into this stuff, but I think it's a very valid question. Do you think that Nate Diaz knocking off his hat was a good thing or a bad thing for Donald? Because now he seems a lot more emotional. He wrote this great diary or blog on our site, MMAfighting.com. Definitely check that out. But do you think that now he's fighting with emotions, and while he thinks that he's gone under Nate Diaz's skin, while he thinks that he's gone in Nate Diaz's head, maybe it's the opposite?
I don't think so. I think that all worked out exactly the way Cerrone wanted it to. I think if you're looking at who could be more easily manipulated by emotion, it's going to be Nate Diaz. You know, and he did kind of turn the tables on him a little bit. That, you know, the story beforehand was about that confrontation they had in the Tough Gym where, you know, Nate smacked his hand away when he tried to shake hands with him, and then Cerrone gets in his face and kind of, you know, makes him bristle up a little bit, makes him feel like, you know, he's angry and wants to get out there. I think as long as Cerrone knows that he's doing it and knows why he's doing it, I think that works to his advantage.
Why did Nate Diaz knock off Donald Cerrone's cowboy hat?
Going into this press conference and knowing there was going to be a stare down, I was ready for some stuff with these two because there's been heat between these two. But during the press conference, they gave the indication like, that's being overplayed. You know, it was what it was. It's behind us. They come up for the face-off. Everything seems cool. Nate gets up like he does. And does his thing, and it's a great stare down. I'm thinking, well, and then sure enough, Cerrone says, "I'm getting in that ass on Friday," or he says, "I'm kicking your ass on Friday," or something. As soon as he said that, Nate knocks the hat off and pushes him. So
Diaz versus Donald Cerrone, a fascinating fight. You've got one guy who is more of maybe a brawler, a puncher, so to speak, but you've got his opponent, Donald Cerrone, who's more of a technical striker, I think, a kickboxer, good off his back, good jiu-jitsu as well. How do you handicap this fight?
I wouldn't say Diaz is a brawler puncher. I would call him, he's more of a volume puncher with no reason, you know. And he'll brawl a little bit, but he's more of a volume puncher. He throws with high volume. I think that it's going to be an interesting fight. I think it's going to come down to takedowns, to down Cerrone and the inside leg kick. He'll have to throw an inside leg kick, establish a little jab, move. As Diaz gets aggressive, he has to change levels and take him down. And, and buy time, and, kill some time and control him. But if Diaz can throw punches off the, when he gets hit with the inside leg kick, fire back with punches and throw combos and circle out, and create angles to avoid the takedowns, he can win the fight. I'm personally, I think that, I'm gonna go with the boy from 209. You know what I'm saying? Diaz. I'm cool with the Diaz boys. I really don't know Cerrone, but I like the Diaz boys. You know what I'm saying? I like how they fight, and I need to get up there, get a little taste of 209 action sometime. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna be an entertaining fight of the night, and I think that Diaz will pull it off. Maybe a split decision.
Diaz wins a dominant decision by picking apart the overwhelmed Cerrone over the course of 15 minutes.
Were you surprised by that, Donald, that he came out and wanted to stand with you rather than take you down?
No, I think he's the one who said, don't be doing any of that gay wrestling. Said, okay. I don't try to come off bad either, like the hat thing and the press, everybody was trying to get us real worked up, he's saying this, he's saying that. I try not to say anything, because anything can, no matter how hard or better I am than somebody, or worse, fight day you could get out there and get slept, knocked down, whatever, I'm not a fortune teller, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I just try to say I'm gonna go out there and work hard, and we're gonna have to see what happens fight day. And everybody's coming up to me like, "Oh, you guys both talk a lot of crap," and I'm like, maybe if I'm fighting, if that's what's happening, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take, because I'll be the one talking, I'm gonna be the one getting knocked out over it. But you're not gonna catch me talking bad about somebody, I'm gonna knock him out, I'm gonna tap him out. I just don't work that way, I just go out there and I train my hardest and I go out there and try to make it happen. But I heard that they were getting him all worked up too, I think, and he was probably saying that I was saying stuff, so he was saying what he was gonna do to me, so that's what the whole thing at the press conference. I just want to apologize. I didn't want to come off as a bad guy, but that's just how it might have seemed.
May 5th, 2012, UFC on Fox 3, Diaz versus Miller, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nate Diaz returns to the cage as the main event for Big Fox card against veteran Jim Miller.
It's my first 5-round fight, so we're gonna have to see. I train for 3 5-minute rounds usually, like it's 5-round fights. So I think that I've done a lot to be in shape and be prepared. I compete a lot of fast twitch workouts, with some guys, and I did a lot of. I did a few triathlons in the last couple of months, and I've been a lot of cardio, mountain biking, and then a lot of rounds with my boxing coach and jiu-jitsu, wrestling. So I try to get as prepared as I can be. So you know what I'm saying? But I've trained really well for fights and came out and performed like shit, and I've trained crappy for fights and came out and performed well, and vice versa. I've trained good and performed. So we're gonna just have to see. Hopefully I don't gas out in the second round,
How annoyed are you sitting up there right now having to answer questions? You could touch on that for us, please.
I don't hate the media. Sometimes I'm probably in a better mood for it, So I think you guys are doing great.
In impressive fashion, Diaz puts away the durable Miller late into round 2 by guillotine and takes home an extra $65,000 submission of the night bonus.
That was one of your best performances in the UFC. How happy are you with what you did out there tonight?
I'm just glad to get the win. I trained hard for the win, so I'm happy to get it, especially out here in New Jersey. It sucks to go travel after losing, so I'm happy with winning and I'm ready to go home.
I'm just wondering about your confidence. Has it ever been higher than it is right now?
I don't know. Anything, funny stuff, I don't trick myself like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, I'm gonna kill the next person, or if I could go out and get knocked out hella quick, first thing, next fight, so that's what I'm expecting. Expect for the worst, hopefully it don't happen.
For
The jiu-jitsu lovers out there, can you talk about how you set up the choke and ultimately made him tap?
You're gonna have to come to my gym on 230 School Street in Lodi if you want to learn some jiu-jitsu, some Gracie jiu-jitsu, and
All right, Nate. Well, thank you very much for the time. I'll do the handshake better this time. A lot of people were giving me hate for doing the left-handed one yesterday, so I screwed that one up. That's kind of my thing. Now we're good. All right. Inside, like we do it on the East Coast. East Coast, West Coast.
This is Southern Cal. We're from Northern Cal.
Oh, upside. No, okay. Boom. No, boom. Okay, one more time. Boom. Okay, sorry. Let's try it one more time. Boom. All right, there we go. There we go. There. I'm doing the East Coast meets West Coast. You know what I'm saying? East Coast. Okay, no knuckle. There you go. Nate Diaz with a big one tonight.
December 8th, 2012. UFC on Fox 5. Henderson versus Diaz, Seattle, Washington. After over 5.5 years in the UFC and 23 professional fights, Nate Diaz is set to fight for the UFC Lightweight Championship against Benson Henderson.
And so when you say you're going to try to fight more strategic, does that mean we're going to see a different kind of Nate on Saturday?
Yeah, I wasn't talking about necessarily my fight strategically. I was talking about my career and fights we were taking. And I think a lot of these guys are champions. And we could have fought for titles, me or him could have, if we would have maybe took an easier route like some people. So, but your time's up.
He gave me one more. He gave me a one.
Yeah.
We were kind of arguing. We were doing a little bit of a discussion here. When you look at the fight, what is the, and I appreciate you telling me my time is up, very honorable of you. What is the biggest hole that you will look to exploit out of Benson's game on Saturday?
Whatever holes he's got, man. He's a tough fighter and he's well-rounded, so I'm gonna go out there and capitalize, try my best to capitalize on whatever he messes up or wherever he does something wrong.
Henderson retains his belt by decision.
I didn't perform how I wish I could have. I caught a punch in the eye pretty early in the fight, and things were blurry. It never came back. I was waiting for it to recover, and when it did, I was gonna come back strong, but it never did. So Ben did great. He landed a good shot early, and I waited. And I think if I would have tried any harder, it could have got worse for me. So I did what I could.
I have a bit of an odd question for you. There's a strong possibility that Ben fought tonight with a toothpick in his mouth, and I'm just wondering if you can comment on it, if you have any thoughts at all on him fighting with a toothpick in his mouth.
I don't know if he did, but that's weird.
April 20th, 2013, UFC on Fox 7, Henderson versus Melendez, San Jose, California. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal makes his UFC debut at lightweight against lanky striker Tim Means. Masvidal wins by decision.
Debut, Jorge, congratulations on picking up your first UFC fight. A tough, gritty fight, a lot of bleeding. How you feel afterwards?
I feel great, man. Tim Means is way tougher than I expected, and I'm just glad to get my victory, get the jitters out the way, get that, I don't know what is it they call it, the UFC bug or whatever.
The octagon jitters.
The octagon jitters, got them out the way, and I like it, man. This is going to be my home for a long time.
Okay, final thing, for a guy who's been in this sport for 10 years, you fought almost everywhere, even some backyard fights with Kimbo. What's it like? Not to say that you're a UFC guy, that you want to fight inside the octagon.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm fighting everywhere. I'm a veteran of the sport, man. I'm young, but I've been everywhere, and I love it, man. I love it here. I'm going to be able to put 4 or 5 fights a year easy, feed my family, so I'm ready to go, man.
How are we celebrating? McDonald's, what are we doing? Brownie, Taco Bell, what are we getting?
I'm in the West Coast, so I'm going to try some West Coast burgers, In-N-Out or Jack in the Box, something like that,
Also on the card, Nate Diaz is set to face top-ranked lightweight Josh Thompson.
What's the biggest thing, in your opinion, that you have to watch out for against a guy like Josh?
Everything. He's like I said, he's well-rounded, and try to watch the takedown, try to make sure don't catch any hot ones, and his jiu-jitsu is good too, so I try to prepare everywhere the best that I could, and everything though.
But at 170, you've been way better in the UFC at 155 as far as won-loss record is concerned. So why Why would you even want to go there? Would you rather just be up there because you don't want to have to deal with the questions?
I fought everybody at the lightweight.
Okay.
Already. Only one there. Who haven't I fought? There's Henderson, the only guy around that. And then Gil's about to handle his business right here on Saturday. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm fighting this fight, and then.
So Gilbert wins, you move up, in simple terms.
Yeah, probably either way.
Either way. You're not just selling me wolf tickets here, are you?
You know, I don't know.
You don't know?
We'll see what happens.
In shockingly violent fashion, Thompson manages to defeat the legendarily tough Diaz by strikes in the second round. July 27th, 2013, UFC on Fox 8, Johnson vs. Moraga, Seattle, Washington. Masvidal is matched up against tough winner Michael Chiesa at lightweight.
Michael, very complimentary of you. He said that you're a guy that he watched for many years as he was climbing the ranks. You not so complimentary of him. You called him a watered-down version of Royce Gracie. You didn't seem to think like he's on your level. Is that accurate?
It's not that he's not. It just I don't like the way he acted towards a teammate of mine that he fought, and it's the way he carried himself. So it's just whatever to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the dude. You know what I'm saying? What, you don't want to be unsportsmanlike? That's cool. You know. Try that with me. You know what I'm saying?
So you're gonna go in there and try to get payback for your buddy?
I'm not gonna try.
You will.
You know what I'm gonna do, man.
It's a very big deal for him, this fight, because he's from this area and he's been dreaming about fighting in Key Arena. Do you like being the kind of enemy going into enemy under? Do you like that? Why?
Color me flattered. I love it, man. I come in here and just do my job, and if I get the boos, I love it. If I get the ahs and oohs, it's cool too. But you know, the boos is a special place in my heart, man.
Why? Why do you like that?
I don't know. I just like the boos, you know, just as much as I like the oohs and ahs, you know. I'd rather actually the boos, so then after the fight, I don't got to worry about like people like taking pictures now, and they're just like, oh, fuck you, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, whatever.
Throw things at you,
yeah, throwing things.
Spit on you.
Yeah, it's the usual, you know?
Post-fight at UFC on Fox 8 alongside Jorge Masvidal, who just submitted Michael Chiesa with 1 second remaining in the second round. And Jorge, congratulations on a win. Early on, he dropped you. It looked like things might get dicey. How did you regroup?
That just pissed me off, man. I was so mad when I realized what happened when I was on my butt on the single leg. I was like, oh man, you're in for a world of trouble if I get out of here. And I was just saying to myself, if he doesn't put me to sleep right here, right now, I'm gonna get him. And I got him.
What does this do for Jorge Masvidal? Where does this put you in the division?
Hopefully it puts me somewhere in the division, man. Give me some top 5 guys. These guys are overrated, and I'm here to bring the truth to the light, you know what I'm saying?
Who's overrated?
All of them.
However, Masvidal would suffer his first UFC defeat after being out-wrestled in a decision loss to top prospect Rustam Khabilov at UFC Fight Night 31, Kennedy vs. Natal. November 30th, 2013. The Ultimate Fighter 18 finale, Maynard vs. Diaz 3, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now riding a 2-fight losing streak, Nate Diaz returns to face longtime rival Gray Maynard. Diaz returns to his victorious ways with a striking clinic that puts away Maynard less than 3 minutes in the first round. April 19th, 2014, UFC on Fox 11 for WERDUM vs. BROWNE, Orlando, Florida. Masvidal is matched up against durable wrestler Pat Healy. Jorge Masvidal wins by unanimous decision.
I got to give a big shout out to my wrestling coach, Cammy Barsini, that every day is just pushing me. And I got great sparring partners, Nathan Coy and Kobe Covington. They're both from Oregon. They both wrestle for the University of Oregon, and those guys kick my ass every day. So me getting wrestled up against the fence is just a part of the job. It's just, I was happy to be there. I could feel him wearing out. And I know my corner was screaming for me to get out of the cage, but I could feel him getting weaker as the exchanges were happening, you know.
Gamebred would follow this with a decision victory over Darren Cruikshank at UFC on Fox 12, Lawler vs. Brown. And at UFC 178, Johnson vs. Carriazo, Masvidal would defeat James Krause by decision to extend his win streak to 3.
I'm going to In-N-Out Burger right now. Then I'm going to go hit up a buffet, but In-N-Out is the first thing I'm going to go do right now.
What's your burger you get there?
I got to get the biggest one, the double.
4x4.
Yeah, 4x4. Whatever I get my hands on, the biggest burger. I already got the food coming. I got like 3 number 1s coming with a milkshake. I'm gonna be like at 200 for the night. So.
December 13th, 2014, UFC on Fox 13, Dos Santos vs. Miocic, Phoenix, Arizona. The UFC would follow up Diaz's victory over Gray Maynard by matching him up with the surging Rafael dos Anjos.
You said that this is the fight that interests you because he's a top-ranked guy. So is it more so about the number next to him or about him? Like, does he interest you at all as an opponent? Was this a guy that you were sitting back saying, oh, I'd like to fight him?
No, he's a great fighter. He's done a great thing. They're offering me a handful of names. And I'm like, look, I'll take 2 or 3. I'm number 1, but I'll take 2 or 3 if they got it, you know. And they call me back. They're like, okay, we got your Dos Anjos. And I like, okay, he's tough and he's been around. I like that he's been in the UFC for 5 years, 6 years. He's a relevant fighter, and I think he's a little unheard of. They need to start pumping him a little more. Maybe put him in a video game because his kids are trying to play the video game with him, and he's been in the UFC for this long, and he just knocked out the champion. I don't think that's right, and so I think he's more than a worthy opponent, and I think he needs a little more exposure, and you know what I'm saying? I think it's great for both of us. Honestly, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I think, you know, it's a co-main event, and it's going to be a hard fight. So I'm here to do my thing, and hopefully it all goes well.
Your brother Nick has talked about how he doesn't really enjoy fighting. Like, when people ask him, are you excited about this fight? He doesn't like that question. I've never heard you talk about it. Do you enjoy it?
I understand him. I feel the same way. Do I enjoy it? Hell no. I've been fighting for 10 years, butts in my ass, and people go in there with all these high mighty hopes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to hold my hand in the air. I'm going to say this, and it's going to be great. I think I'm more so like I might get my ass knocked out or submitted or choked, unconscious, and guess who's watching? Everybody who you don't want to. Your mom, your friend. So it's nerve-wracking, and it's something I could deal with, but people got to understand all that. I'm the best. I'm going to knock some. I mean, it's a way to hype themselves up, pump themselves up, and make it like they love it. But people feel like that. And I also think I have the ability to beat everybody, you know what I'm saying? But it's a gamble, and it's a scary way to live life. My whole life, 10 years I've been fighting now, and I've been doing amateur stuff 5 years before that, so 15 years of fighting pretty much in competition. You know, it's my job, and I'm gonna do it, and I gotta do what I gotta do. I don't do anything else.
If you had another option, would you rather do that? Something?
Oh, man, if the WWE called and offered me millions of dollars to come and fake wrestle on my first day, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, not that I wouldn't still fight, but for the moment, I'm getting my money paycheck on at the Fake Wrestling Federation. So.
Is that, are you alluding to the CM Punk situation of him coming over?
Yeah, that's another silly situation that I don't think that anybody should be a part of. Everybody wants to be like, yeah, they're putting an amateur with the pro now. Putting amateurs with the pros, and it's a big deal. I was just telling them that we don't get a nice suit and a slick back hair and a mic for at each UFC event. I'm going to be fighting on this. Even Nick Diaz and Anderson Silva, biggest fight of all time right now. You don't see them at the UFCs holding I'll be fighting on this and getting an interview from Rogan, and this is the biggest news all day. But this dude I don't even know who he is. As soon as I heard that, I looked him up. I was like, what the? Okay, I don't know who he is. Everyone knows who he is. So obviously this guy's going to get paid millions of dollars to come over here and fight whoever he wants to make the UFC money. Great for the company. Great for the company. Everybody's getting paid from it. But you got all the UFC clingers are all the little fighters are putting their little amateur opinion. I'll fight CM Punk. I'll be happy to welcome him to Octagon. It's like get out of here, like straight up. Like you're antagonizing this. You're welcoming this. Like you ain't welcome. You can't even fight me. You're an amateur. Fight for 10 years and then we could fight. You know what I'm saying?
Caesar welcomed him to the team.
I don't even know that. I don't even know why he did that. He can't, you know what I'm saying? He come train. I don't care. That's cool. Hey, all luck to him. Good luck, CM Punk. But that situation, fuck that situation. You're gonna pay that guy out more than anybody he's fighting on his first day because he's a draw. You know, I understand that. I understand the draw and the money and that it's a good for the company. But you know what it's not good for? The athletes. Like, we're supposed to be pros. Why are we being treated like semi-pros? You're gonna bring an amateur in and pay him more than us? I'll fight him. I'm like, by all means, if you're gonna fight him and get paid more than him, fight him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're gonna bring him in and they're gonna give this guy
however many $1 million because of the draw, and they're gonna all watch, and they're gonna give $20,000 paycheck to whoever fights him, and then the guy getting paid 20 G's is gonna act like it's an opportunity. That ain't no opportunity. That's being hustled. You know what I'm saying?
Not quite a former champion, but Nate Diaz, very much a big player at 155. We haven't seen him in over a year. He's fighting Dos Anjos, who's been on a roll as of late. And, you know, it's amazing. We're just coming out of the media day here. Nate Diaz, despite everything, he's still the draw. I mean, he's still the guy, right?
Absolutely. He owned it.
Why do we love him so much?
That's a really good question.
Why are we so fascinated by this guy? Why are you so fascinated by him?
I mean, can you say why you're fascinated? I don't even know why I'm fascinated.
It's really true, yeah.
Our cameraman Casey said he could watch them do their taxes, and I agree. I would watch them do their taxes. Something about them is just so fascinating to watch, and they keep it real, and that's a silly thing to say, but they keep it real. Everyone else inside that media day is giving canned answers. You know, they reciting the same lines. Nate Diaz is holding court, speaking his mind, talking about things like, you know, why the sponsorship deal is bad, about the rankings, just about how fighters need to speak up and speak against the UFC. You don't hear people speaking like this, and then he makes light of it. He's like, tomorrow I'm going to be ranked number 28 because I'm saying this. It's just fascinating to watch.
RDA would dominate Diaz and cruise to a decision victory. April 4th, UFC Fight Night 63, Mendes versus Lamas, Fairfax, Virginia. Masvidal is matched up against top-ranked contender Raging Al Iaquinta. In one of the most controversial decisions of the year, Iaquinta wins a split decision despite receiving 30-27 from one judge. And according to MMADecisions.com, 12 of 14 media members had Masvidal winning the fight, with 6 of them giving every round to Gamebred. More importantly, this would be Masvidal's last fight at 155 pounds. July 12, 2015, The Ultimate Fighter 21 finale, Ellenberger vs. Thompson, Las Vegas, Nevada. Masvidal makes his welterweight debut against former middleweight Cesar Ferreira. Masvidal wins by a first-round knockout and takes home a $50,000 performance bonus.
The difference is huge. I felt when I woke up today, when I was doing my sprints, I always do sprints in the morning before the day of the fight. I felt good. I felt explosive. You know, usually I feel like a little lethargic or heavy when I drop down to 56 and then I put the weight back on. I'm usually around like 78, so just putting all that weight back on, I don't feel good. You know, I felt great today.
Obviously, you initially missed weight as well, which is a little surprise since you were moving up. What happened there? And I mean, was that just a miscalculation, or what was the issue?
Well, one of the UFC guys wanted to run by a Steak and Shake, or In-N-Out Burger real quick, so I got tempted and whatever, you know.
You want to say?
So say Masvidal, I think he has a chance to take a star turn because he's at 170 now. It's a very high-profile division, and some of the stuff that he said. I mean, he called out Matt Brown. Not a lot of guys call out Matt Brown, and he said in the press conference tonight that he was a little bit overweight because he had some In-N-Out Burger. You know, this guy has a personality that can really make him into a star. He's so honest. He has no filter. He told Sean and I the other day at media day that he had a couple grand on the McGregor fight and the Robbie Lawler fight, and he ended up this is before the fights, and he ended up winning. So he won the bonus tonight, and he won his bets on McGregor and Lawler. So big win for Masvidal. I think that's a guy that can be a star, man. I think he's so honest. He's got a great personality, and at welterweight he may have more finishing power. He may be even more exciting. So I think look for him in the future to do big things.
Masvidal would then be rewarded with his first UFC main event against Ben Henderson in Seoul, South Korea. Masvidal would lose an extremely competitive split decision to the former lightweight champion. The bad luck would continue at UFC Fight Night 88, Almeida vs. Garbrandt, where Gamebred would lose yet another split decision against top welterweight contender Lorenz Larkin. December 19th, 2015, UFC on Fox 17, Dos Anjos vs. Cowboy, Orlando, Florida. Nate Diaz is matched up against UFC veteran Michael Johnson.
They know who the biggest fight is, and it's right here. You know what I'm saying? This whole show's right here. You know what I'm saying? These guys this whole division is built off of me. You got Donald Cerrone, who I just fought, and Rafael Dos Anjos, who I just fought. And now I'm ranked like number 47 or some shit. They get one middle finger, and you're like, but my point being is I was the money. Money, motherfucking money fight. Where am I at? Let's see. I need to be on this card. This is me.
Is that you?
Are you flexing? One. There we go. I'm on the poster now. That's why. I ain't put me on a poster, but look at what I'm busting. I'm an artist.
Well, let's talk about this drawing right here. This is something. I didn't know you had these skills.
I'm an artist. That's all I got, though.
It was good, but in all honesty, were you a little annoyed that you're not on this?
Yeah, where the fuck's my picture at?
I remember in July they wanted you to fight Smith and Wesson.
Here we go again. Hold up.
Let me know when you're ready. We just multiply.
Oh, yeah. I like ain't no stopping at the red lights. All right.
Nate Diaz wins by decision, but it's what Nate says after his victory that could change his career forever.
If we're gonna see a fight that people want to see, it's gonna be that fight with Conor McGregor, and we could do that shit tonight, whenever next week, and so that's my motivation. That's why I train. That's why I come here to fight, and I plan on doing well when I do fight. I don't care if it's all good or not all good. When we fight, we're gonna fight, for real fight. He thinks he's the ninja, I'm the ninja. Ninja Gaiden, American Ninja, real motherfucking ninja. This ninja martial artist right here, I started that shit. American Ninja, Irish Ninja, represent your shit, homeboy. I'm right here. United States. We can bring that shit on. Fight.
What's the key to beating him in your opinion?
Training hard and ninja his ass up. Everybody. That's the key to beating everybody.
Well, great to see you.
Ninja real shit. Not no funny fake. Let's fight. This will be good for the sport. Fuck that. Fuck the sport. This is fight shit. This is ninja shit. That's what people want to see. What I want to see when I watch. So let's see some real shit. You hear me. Let's get it.
March 5th, 2016, UFC 196, McGregor vs. Diaz, Las Vegas, Nevada. Originally booked as a title fight between Dos Anjos and McGregor, RDA is forced to withdraw from the event due to injury, less than 2 weeks out. Nate Diaz is chosen as the replacement at 170 pounds.
Conor, any message to the guys back in Ireland watching on Saturday?
Thank you for the support. Don't blink, I'm coming out the gate fast.
Conor!
I'm coming out the gate fast. Let's see what he's about. He talked a lot, now we don't talk no more. So we'll see.
And just quickly, if I could, for Dana.
He even tried to pick on John Anik the other day. He has a bully mentality until a real man shows up. Like Mike Tyson said, he's scared of a real man.
John Anik, fuck you. How about that?
But all I want is a thank you, or even a little dance.
You're welcome.
Even a little dance. Dance for me, Nate. Dance for me. And don't look me in the eye when you dance. These are subtle tales that I tell, so I'm going to go in and play with him. There are many shots. The Mea Lua, the 360 roundhouse, the soft body on him. He has a soft, flappy body like he was a fat guy.
You got it all figured out, but who do you train with?
He's a soft.
You have no training
doesn't
partners.
matter.
You have no boxing,
You're trying to pass the line.
No
like,
grappling.
I train with this guy. Look at him. Go video him. Get that camera away from me.
You got tapped out
That's
by
a
two
sign of a man who's
guineas that I
scared for
never
his
even heard
life.
of.
Man up and be yourself. You're like a gazelle. You're bunched up together, hoping that
No
you get
training
spared.
partners.
But
Where's
I'm
your
a lion.
credential at? You knocked out midgets.
I'm a lion in there, and I'm gonna eat you alive. Your little gazelle friends are gonna be staring through the cage, looking at you, getting your carcass getting eaten alive, and they can do nothing. All they're gonna do is say,
No training
"We're never
partners
gonna
at
cross
all.
this river again."
Where's your boxing? Who do you train with? You got that little goofy motherfucker with you?
You got that skinny
I'm training
little
for real.
twerp,
No, I
that
got
little
real
skinny
training partners.
bitch at the
I do real
Open
kids with
workout.
real training
Who do you
partners.
train with?
Top
I'd
10
slap the head off your
fighters,
whole team
top
one
10
by one. You
boxers,
and your big brother.
Top 10
You and your
jiu-jitsu
big
guys. top 10 kickboxers. You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park, the ponytail. And I'm the one who ain't got no training partner? I don't think so. You seem to have it all figured out when you're fighting midgets. You got shit.
Bring your training partners in. You're gonna need them.
My whole team will fucking beat your whole team's ass. How about that?
Nate, there's a lot of tension going on here. Give us your thoughts on this fight.
Hey, I'm here to kill or be killed in Stockton, California. Fuck this little bitch. Fuck you.
Nate Diaz, ladies and gentlemen.
After losing the first round, Nathan Diaz comes back and defeats McGregor by submission 4 minutes and 12 seconds into round 2.
You said in an interview last year that your previous defeat to this in 2010, tapping out, ate you alive. Do you think doing that again is going to similarly kind of hurt for a long, long time?
You're damn right. It's a tough pill to swallow, but we can either run from adversity or we can face our adversity head on and conquer it, and that's what I plan to do. It wasn't ideal. I got caught. It is what it is. I'll face it. I'll take it on the chin, and I'll carry on. I'll learn from it, and that's it.
No, I knew I was the superior boxer, the superior martial artist, superior jiu-jitsu. Came from, like I said from the beginning, I had the best training partners in the world in every aspect, in boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and MMA. So nothing surprised me except for that I got hit at all. I think with a full camp I would have been flawless, but it's whatever. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He got a lot of push. He's been doing great, and he's got a lot of help behind him. And yeah, I just wish I had the same push, the same help. I've been in this a long time. I've been 9 years. It was like my 25th fight here in the UFC, and I've been in the last few years curious when this is gonna pay off, and I think it's time. Now it's time.
July 30th, 2016, UFC 201, Lawler vs. Woodley, Atlanta, Georgia. Riding a 2-fight losing streak for the first time in his career, Masvidal is booked against veteran striker Ross Pearson. Masvidal wins by decision.
Are you happy with the result? Obviously you get the W, but did you sort of feel like you needed something emphatic, a finish, something to tell people that...
I definitely needed a finish.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish. I didn't get it. Ross is a tough customer, but I'm still improving. I'm 31, and I've been in this game for a long time, but I'm still young as far as like miles go. If you see my style, I don't get hit often. I just got a good style for the sport, you know, so I'm just improving more, and there's things I still got to tweak, you know.
So what makes sense next? Obviously, Pearson wasn't your original opponent. What are you thinking?
The winner of Jake Ellenberger, Matt Brown, sounds like a treat for the fans. You know, I know everybody would like to see that fight. I know I want an easy payday, so that'd be a great fight for my ass.
Masvidal would follow up that victory with a TKO over Jake Ellenberger at the Ultimate Fighter 24 finale, Johnson vs. Elliott. August 20th, 2016, UFC 202, Diaz vs. McGregor 2, Las Vegas, Nevada. Diaz is set to rematch McGregor once again at the welterweight limit.
Your whole team. Crackhead ass. You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Now what is it you do? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Come this way. Diaz, show. Come this way. Fuck you.
Sorry, guys. See you Saturday.
Nate, any regrets about what happened yesterday? Can you tell us why you left the stage?
Well, I'm here as a businessman, doing what I gotta do. You know, we're all in a business. I wanna behave myself and come out here and act right, but I gotta keep it real too. But not even keep it real, like stay true to myself and what I believe in. And I believe that if a motherfucker comes in with his team like the head honcho shit, I'm gonna let you know that we got a whole gang ready to ride. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. So they came in like they was hot shit, but we got a whole army here, so ain't nothing I ain't seen before. It's all good.
Connor, I know the media has a ton of questions for you, so I just want to ask you, what do you think of this turnout?
Yeah, fuck the Diaz brothers, yeah? Fuck those cockroaches!
Okay, fair enough. Let's go to the media, guys. Who has the first question?
What do you think from a professional standpoint?
Like I said, fuck Team Diaz. And if you're down with Team Diaz, then fuck you too.
I train always hard to kill. He already dead from the last time. This is a new guy. So it's kill or be killed again. USA, motherfuckers!
In an extremely competitive fight, McGregor defeats Diaz by majority decision.
What did Connor do for this fight? He did exactly what I told his ass to do. He hopped on a bike, did a little amateur style. He didn't have no clips. He didn't have no helmet. That's not how you ride, but he tried. And he hired all top 10 people to come in from wherever. I don't know where them gimpy ass boxers he had came from. And then that jiu-jitsu coach he's got, I'm gonna get that motherfucker, man. That guy is on my hit list. This is America, and he's over there representing with them. And I'm gonna get off topic, but fuck them. But what I was saying was, he followed the leader, man. He hired these people, and that was a good job. You know what I'm saying? But who taught you to do that? Your sensei here, man. It's like follow the leader as far as the martial artist. Follow the leader as far as the businessman. Like if you think that I'm tripping and just talking on my ass, then you're obviously not that bright.
No, he's a class competitor. It's intense in the build-up, and everything is real. If we saw each other in the build-up, if my team saw their team, something's going down, and that's just the way it is. But respect is earned through battle for me and for them. So this battle was won. We'll regroup, we'll go our separate ways, see what happens, and we'll gather up for another battle, and then it'll be right back where we started.
And you know what else wins tonight? I think combat sports wins as well. You know, I think as fans and journalists of this great sport, we dream of scenarios like this, rivalries, great fights, living or perhaps, again, exceeding the hype. And think back to December when Conor McGregor knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. In a million years, could you have ever predicted that we'd be 2 fights into a rivalry between Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor contested at 170 pounds? But now this has become the story of 2016 as far as fighting is concerned. And here we are after 2 fights of a rivalry that we never thought was going to be on the radar with all the options for Conor McGregor. And here we are sort of salivating at the idea of a 3rd fight. That's what makes this sport so great. It is so unpredictable, and perhaps unlike 200, this night reminds us why we love this sport. It lives up to the hype, and wow, did it deliver in a big way. I think we're all still buzzing from what we witnessed. Big credit, big kudos to both Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz for showing up, backing up their words, and really, really delivering on all that talk and hype. Amazing stuff, and if you missed it, shame on you because you missed a classic.
January 28th, 2017, UFC on Fox 23, Shevchenko versus Pena, Denver, Colorado. Now riding a 2-fight win streak at welterweight, Masvidal is set to face fan favorite Cowboy Cerrone.
To me, it's always business. It's never personal, you know. I don't really care for the dude. I don't like him at all. If he dies or becomes a millionaire, it doesn't make me lose sleep. I don't care for him at all, but it's still business to me, you know.
So when you see him talking about fighting Damian Maia or calling out Woodley, what does that tell you? Is he looking past you?
Oh, I love it. I hope he's looking past me. I hope he didn't run the extra miles. I hope he just thinks that this is a walk in the park. It's better for me. Easy money campaign.
In a breakthrough performance, Masvidal steamrolls Cerrone and defeats him by KO 1 minute into round 2.
Do you feel like, you know, you're kind of in that spot where
you know, you have to start doing crazy things to try to get, you know, more and more opportunities?
It's not crazy. It's a formula I see Instagram. If you post 5 pics a day with 30 hashtags, you're going to get up to the 100, 200, 300K followers, whatever it is that they consider you to be popular. That's not me, though. My skill is in the gym. I'm in the gym so long I ain't got time for them corny-ass posts. All I got time for is to go to the gym, home, and rest. And while I'm here speaking and all the new media's out here, American Top Team, the best gym in the world. Why don't we get mentioned? We got 3 current champions right now. We got guys in the top 10 of every weight division. The greatest fucking team in the world. My boy over here, Gregory Chopling Mutai, KO Zone, what's up? Make sure y'all put that in your publications, man. Please. Thank you.
May 13th, 2017. UFC 211. Miocic versus Dos Santos 2. Dallas, Texas. Masvidal returns to the cage to face top contender and former title challenger Demian Maia.
Who is the most dodge fighter? Who's the guy that you've called the most and they've said no to or just hung up on, huh? And I'm not just talking about the fights that got signed and then later on got broken off. I'm talking about backstage, which I won't even mention those hoes' names. But I'm the dude that gets denied the most. Decline, every time.
Why do you think that is?
Because I can fight, man, and I'm mean, and I'm good everywhere. You don't look at me fighting and go, oh, man, but if I do this, then I'll have an upper hand. No, because I'm good everywhere. So it's going to be a fight no matter what. It's going to be a testament of my will versus somebody else's will every time. And I got more will than everybody. All I'm saying is I'm here to fight, man. And Damian is by far the #1 contender. They wanted to make Cowboy also fight after my fight for the title. Well, I took care of that guy twice in one night. If I could get by Maia and I'm not fighting for the title, I'm speechless, you know. The sport's gone in another direction and not what I signed up for. When I got into fighting, it was before Ultimate Fight. I already had pro fights. It was guys that were fighting, no time limit, just wanting to be the best in the world. And it didn't matter about fame. And it's awesome that we get money and stuff, but those guys didn't care about fame and money, and that's why I got into it. Obviously, I want to get paid as much as I can, but I don't care about the fame and stuff like that. But the sport has gone in that direction. That's not me, man. I'm here to just fight, and if I get famous off my fighting, awesome. If not, whatever, you know?
Well, this is good, because I thought that you were going to rip on the media and all that, but it seems like you actually start to like the media now.
No, I still can't stand you motherfuckers.
Why?
But why? Because it's how long I've been doing this, and now people are like, man, this guy's awesome, this and that. I didn't just wake up and get good. I've been good.
We've been covering you for a long time. I remember in Dallas, you fought in Strikeforce here, remember?
Yeah,
but
you're my partner, and that's why I never not do interviews with you, because you're my boy. Though I don't like to do this, look,
you're great at it.
When I come into a room and there's a bunch of people, I don't like it, man. I'm antisocial. I grew up a little different where you just don't talk to random people and stuff because they might try to rob you or something. So I'm not really used to it still.
I think you're good here with these folks.
Yeah, I think I'm good, you know, but I'm still not used to people just coming up to me in the street and talking to me. It kind of throws me off. So talking to the media, especially the fake media, feels like, man, I'm getting these guys money. I'm not getting no money off of it because for years they didn't do shit for my career. You know? Who the hell was covering me? Nobody. When I would put on an amazing performance at Strikeforce, like you just said, beating KJ Noons, didn't nobody give a fuck about that, you know? So why now they're all on me? Because I beat Cowboy? Who the fuck is Cowboy? You know what I'm saying? He's a good fighter, but who the fuck is he? I beat other guys like him or better. Now all of a sudden, everybody wants to be my best friend. Everybody wants to text me, oh, let me get an interview with you. Man, after this fight, if you want my boy from the gate, I'm going to start charging for these interviews because they're doing them clickbaits and they're getting all that money. I need money. Let me wet my beak. Give me $100 from now. You want to interview with me? Put some money in my hands after this fight because I'm not getting nobody else paid. I need to put my kids through college. You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of discontent with the media. You know, even after the Cowboy fight, they didn't say how good a performance I did. They said Cowboy shouldn't have took that fight because it was too early. Cowboy should have not fought a guy like me that wasn't even ranked. Cowboy looked flat. But they forgot that right before Cowboy had that fight, I fought 2 weeks before against Jake Ellenberger, the guy that destroyed the guy that almost, that him and him had a little war with. You know what I'm saying? People forget that shit, and that shit bothers me, man, you know? I'm here to fight and to fight the world's best. That's it.
Maia wins by split decision, snapping Masvidal's 3-fight winning streak. November 4th, 2017, UFC 217, Bisping versus St-Pierre, New York, New York. Masvidal returns to action on the pay-per-view main card against top contender Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
But the goal is beat Wonderboy on Saturday, and then you're the #1 contender.
No, look, I can't just beat him because they'll rob me of a decision. I got to murder him. So the goal is murder him, move on to the title, and then whatever happens, happens, you know?
What do you mean by murder him?
murder him, like make sure he leaves in a stretcher, because I'm not winning a decision in New York against him, you know? So I gotta make sure that he can't walk out of there in one piece, you know?
Masvidal loses back-to-back fights at welterweight as Wonderboy wins the decision. March 16th, 2019, UFC on ESPN Plus 5, Till versus Masvidal, London, England. Despite riding a 2-fight losing streak, Masvidal is booked against fellow top contender and recent title challenger Darren Till.
My experience though, my fighting style, and my perseverance mixed with the game that I have, that I'm just a dog, I'm not gonna quit. He's never seen nothing like me in his life, I guarantee you. After Saturday, he'll write a book on what he learned from me, you know?
I think of Ben Askren coming over here. He seems to think he's automatically getting the winner of this fight. I know Leon Edwards and Gunnar Nelson also have said they think they're going to get the winner of this fight. But in Ben Askren in particular, do you think that's a bad idea for him based on how he got on against predominantly a striker and Robbie Lawler in his first outing, coming in against you or Till, depending on who the winner is?
For one, we won't even mention no more names on my interview of these guys because we just gave them a whole lot of press, bro. Nobody even knew those bums before you mentioned them right now, you know? And that's something that the media and like the fans, like if you just talk, you know, I've mentioned this in a couple of interviews. If I start talking bad about Donald Trump, my president, they're not gonna go to an interview of him and be like, hey, this guy Jorge Masvidal is talking junk about. No, it's not gonna happen, you know? Why it happens in MMA, I don't know, you know? We got number 37 of the world calling me out and number whatever the fuck calling me out. Meanwhile, I'm fighting number 3. You know, and my ranking has dropped because I've been inactive for a while. But I'm fighting the hardest, best fight that I could get out. Why do I care about anybody else? And they constantly get brought up in other interviews, you know. Ben could say and do whatever the fuck he wants. He's a punk. Robbie didn't go to sleep. So I get it, in the moment you get caught up, my hands are up in the air, I won. You see the replay as a man. You see the replay and you see that he has a thumbs up. I never seen somebody sleeping like that. I would say, let's do it again. I'm gonna fuck you up without a doubt, show it to the world. But he's a weasel, he's a punk here already. Before they even brought that up, he said, no, not a chance, not doing it. Why? Why? Because you're not a fucking man, you're a punk, and the bitch in you will be brought out. Am I fighting him after this fight? No, because I'm fighting for the title, but I will break his face at some point. I don't know if it'll be in a parking lot, I don't know if it'll be at a gym, I don't know if it'll be in the octagon. But that guy ever gets fresh with me in person, that's right then and right there, you know? Plus, I don't like his corny ass, you know? And I remember said that you brought him up, and all interviewers, stop asking me about Ben and the other dude from England. Don't give a fuck. All interviews, please listen, because the next guy that does is just gonna get shooed away. I don't wanna hear about these bums in my interview, you know?
Jorge Masvidal crushes Till by knockout midway through the second round. July 6, 2019, UFC 239, Jones versus Santos, Las Vegas, Nevada. Gamebred is set to face the undefeated Ben Askren.
What round and how are you going to do it?
We're going to do it painfully and brutally. That's for sure. I don't like this dude, as everybody can know. So it's going to be brutal, man. It's going to be painful, man. I don't know what round yet, but it's going to be painful.
Will this be Darren Till Part 2? Or how are you preparing for this, brother?
Nah, this is different, man. Darren Till woke up eventually. I don't know if Buddy's gonna wake up.
Damn! You're the man, Jorge. You're the man. You got this, brother.
You know this guy's gonna try to grab you and hug you the whole fight, right?
He's gonna try to put his face in my crotch, yes.
So what I'm wondering is, are you feeling a little knee on the way in? Are we gonna go with an uppercut? Are we gonna go with a flying knee? What are you feeling?
We got something that's not usually listed on the menu when you pull up to the drive-thru. It's gonna be it's on the special files for his ass, man. He's gonna find out July 6th, though. I've never in all my pro fights had more fans come up to me and request the ending of somebody. Never, ever, never. It's always like, yeah, fuck that guy. But I've never had specific demands like, can you sink in his eye orbital so he can no longer see from that side? And I've jotted down all of them, and I've said, I'm putting it out in the universe. I'm gonna try to make your wishes come true, you know. So I've never had so much animosity towards a fighter that I've ever fought in my whole fucking career, man. From the fans, you know. I mean, even yesterday when I was done at the open workouts, some lady had drawn a picture of him showed it to me, threw it on the floor and started stepping on it. This is what I want you to do to his face. I was like, yeah, I swear my coaches were there. Maybe the UFC and better picked it up, you know, but it was pretty fucking entertaining, man. He's a master, I'll tell you what, he's a master of stuffing his face in men's crotches. Grandmaster. That, I can't take that away from him. I've never seen nobody do that at that level.
How do you incorporate that into a training?
It's weird, man, because I'm not into dudes having their face in my crotch, bro. It's not something I've grown to like, you know, so there's a lot of defenses for that, you know, and I've been working on each and every one of them.
In quite possibly the most spectacular knockout in UFC history, Masvidal removes Askren from consciousness with a flying knee at 5 seconds in the very first round.
I saw some criticism. People say the punches weren't really necessary. Maybe
They were super necessary.
Why were they necessary?
What do you mean, why were they not necessary?
Because he was already knocked out at that point.
But the referee hadn't pulled me off. And my job is to hit somebody till the referee pulls me off. So to those people, I would say maybe don't watch MMA, go back to soccer.
I saw some other criticisms perhaps of your celebration afterwards. Any regrets at the celebration or your behavior in the cage afterwards?
Man, there's not too many people that I've disliked. I have over 50 pro fights, and he's one of them, you know. He talked about my manhood, talked about my culture, my ethnicity. Where do we draw? Why do certain people get to do stuff? You online, so you could do anything. Everything is cool before a fight. You're allowed to do and say whatever you want, like other fighters are not doing, talking about people's religions, wife, even kids. That's cool. But after a fight, I'm not allowed to showboat and rub it in your face so you and guys like you could see it and be like, maybe I don't talk so much shit, because when I cross one of these real motherfuckers, they're gonna make me pay for it, man. They're gonna embarrass the shit out of me. And it's not over for Ben either. He still has to deal with me. If I see him at Whole Foods, I'm gonna still slap that dude up because I don't like him. He got the head buster with no longer with us clavicle. He got all types of shit. Then he got those punches to the face, you know, because I thought he was gonna get up.
That maybe one day you guys could drop the beef, or do you think is this a permanent thing?
Oh no, it's not beef, because if it was beef, it'd be different. I'd be at the front of his house waiting for him right now. It's not beef. This is just, I don't like my coworker, we could say, but this is not beef, you know. This is just some idiot I don't like, you know. But my job, thank God, you guys gotta be jealous of this for me. I get to punch the coworkers I don't like in the face.
August 17th, 2019. UFC 241 Cormier vs. Miocic 2, Anaheim, California. After a nearly 3-year layoff from competition, Diaz returns to the UFC to face former lightweight champion and current welterweight top contender, Anthony Pettis.
From day one. It's gonna stay the same too until I'm 100 years old. I'm the don of all this shit. Anybody gonna step in this room and say they're the ass whipper, I beg to differ. There's no beef at all anyways, so I'm okay with, I'm just here, I'm here as a businessman and a natural born killer, and I'm here to get the job done, and he's the guy to do it on, so it's no problem. It's all good with me. I'm just here to fucking kill and stay alive for the weekend.
He seems to think you're jealous of him. Does that make sense to you?
Why am I jealous of him?
So you got the covers of the Wheaties.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was blown out of proportion a little bit, but at the time, I was not jealous of him, but I was mad that they were just like Connor. Connor is like, you guys are gonna just hand these guys. I did more work than all these guys, and then they're pushing them as the guys. And if you're a fighter and they're pushing this guy as a guy, I'm gonna definitely step and say, no, fuck that, I'm the guy.
Diaz wins by unanimous decision, and in his post-fight interview, Diaz would proclaim that he is the baddest motherfucker in the game, and that he would like to challenge fellow welterweight Jorge Masvidal to defend that title.
Dana was in here before, and he said that the last thing he thought you would say after the fight was calling out Jorge Masvidal. Why did you do that?
Just because you got to recognize who's the best of the best in this game, and it's not who they're saying it is, it's who I'm saying it is. It's the guys who've been in here for forever, and now are still on the top of the game. Like Pettis just knocked out Thompson, who was just fighting for the 170 title a whole bunch of times, and then he fights Pettis. Pettis just knocks his ass out real quick. Who's the real baddest dude in the 170 division? And then they were trying to pump up a dude, and then Masvidal goes in there and knocks his ass out after he's been in here since I started fighting in 2004, I think. And then I think he's either been there right then or a little longer, and he just did that. So, and I just did that. So that's the best fighter to me, the best martial artist who's still on top of the game. Like I said, I've been through waves of these guys. There's a couple guys who come in and then they fight for a title or peak and have 3 good fights. They fight for a title, they get the belt, then they get their ass whipped, then they have another loss, maybe have another win and then another loss, and then they're gone with the win. And that's not the best fighters to me. I've been here in 40 years, fighting, still killing. And why ain't nobody fucking like, what? That's the guy to fight. He just beat the best guy and he's been around doing this the whole time. So I'm into the best martial artists in the world, not like some hold on to you wrestlers who are gonna hold you and hopefully win around and find a loophole to win in these fights and put belts on their waist. Now we're fighting for the baddest motherfucker in the game. Belt, and that's mine. So I'd like to defend it against Jorge Masvidal. So if you want to be the baddest motherfucker, that's how we're gonna do it. I'm looking for a badass fight. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to fucking whip someone's ass and recognize the other guy who's whipping someone's ass and be like, hey, I'm the head ass whooper here. I want some of you then. And I did that with Conor, because they were promoting him like he was the top dog in this whole thing, and he was brand new, and that was making me high. There was nothing personal against dude, because all respect for anybody who's gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? You got to get it, but if you're gonna just not like acknowledge the fact that I'm here and been here, and like when you start, like when did Pettis start fighting and Conor? Them fools was probably watching me fight on the UFC when they was in high school. I'm like, you better recognize it, and I'm disrespected. That's why I gotta get these fights. Like, what's up? And that's the shit I want to see if I'm watching the game. Like I always say it like this: like, you ever like when you get a video game like Street Fighter, like who are you gonna pick? Who are you gonna pick? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to pick the baddest looking motherfucker right there who does the coolest shit. And I believe that. I believe that I'm the coolest at all these sorry ass motherfuckers who are just sat around for 3 years and let me whip Conor McGregor's ass, and then nobody said nothing. Like, what? I would have been like, that's the best, baddest dude. He called out dude. He got the fight. He whipped him, and then they robbed him, and then he's out for 3 years. Like, why didn't somebody step up like, hey, if he's out for 3 years, get your ass back in the game. I'm gonna whip your ass. And then I'm like, oh, I got to step back in the game real quick and fight that guy, because I can't be going to the coffee shop and have somebody say, man, that guy said he's gonna whip your ass all over the place. I'm like, no, he's not gonna whip my ass. That's why I'm gonna fight him. So there's your blueprint. And none of these fighters know how to do that, because none of them have imagination. None of them hadn't played Street Fighter or watched a cool movie before. And like, where your head at, you little jock wrestler? You're gonna just sit there and do all this politically correct shit, but this is a fight game, dude. Quit acting like this is some professional sport and saying whatever they want to give me is gonna be fine. Saying, no, I'm gonna take what's mine. And that's what I'm talking about with the baddest motherfucker title. And I need that belt made as soon as possible.
November 2nd, 2019. UFC 244, Masvidal versus Diaz, New York, New York. The baddest motherfucker in the game, Nathan Diaz, puts a personal title on the line against Jorge Gamebred Masvidal as the main event at Madison Square Garden.